heard of me, and you've arrived anyway, which is a miracle, and I really appreciate it. I have a small confession. I am not from Manchester. I would be talking different if I were. I live in Manchester at the moment. I was born in the little rural county of Shropshire in England, which most of you will not have heard of. I'm very fortunate to be spending a couple of months here in South Africa, staying on a friend's farm and feeding chickens and minding the dogs and picking mangoes, which is a delight anyway. How many of you have travelled to England? What's it like in England in the winter? How lucky am I? It's all sunshine. Well, sunshine and thunderstorms. I love thunderstorms as much as I love sunshine. So I'm very fortunate to be here, and to be honest, I just would have been happy to spend a couple of months in South Africa and look around a little bit and meet the land and talk to the mountains. But the opportunity of sharing some of what I carry was just too good to miss. And I'm so grateful to Leela for recommending me to Ilana to give me this opportunity of coming and speaking to you tonight. And also, because I'm on a place where we've got accommodation and workshop space, I'm putting on some events there, and we've left some information on the chair in case you're interested in those. So, let me think. Before I say any more, let's have you all arrive in the space, shall we? So, I know a lot of you have had a little smudge with Mugwort, so you've already actually met the herb in the form of the smoke, which is great. She's already working her magic amongst you. So now that she's meeting us, let's us go to meet her. So can I suggest please you put both your feet flat on the ground, settle your bottom nicely in your chair, spine a little bit upright maybe, so that you're ready to receive. And I know we're in a corporate venue and the traffic's whizzing by outside, but if you feel comfortable, just gently allow your eyes to close. I promise I won't do anything naughty while you've got your eyes shut. Well, I might. Take a nice breath in, and then allow that breath to exhale. And then with your next breath in, just notice where the breath moves in your body. Notice what's happening in your torso. Notice whether it's feeling tight, whether it's feeling expansive, whether it's feeling nicely chilled out or a little bit, I'm not sure what's going on here. Don't try and change anything. We're not trying to change anything. We're just being present with what is. Because that's the first stage in any process, right? It's just to find out where we're at. So just check in with yourself. Where am I at right now? What's going on in me? And as your awareness fills your physical body, also allow it to expand gently into your energetic body, or your aura, or your pokpo, as we call it in the Andean tradition. So there's no forcing, there's no, it's got to be this big. Just allow your awareness to expand gently. And allow yourself to feel gently held within your energy body. And we humans are exceedingly special. We have the capacity to move energy with our intention or our will. This is the thing that makes humans different. So I invite you to engage your will. Just open up a wee hole in the top of your energy body. And through that hole, I invite you to drink in the energy of the cosmos. Really drink it in. The beautiful mountains, the seas, the skies, the stars, the very almost full moon. Just drink in the energy of the cosmos. And fill your energy bubble. And fill your physical body. And just feel the vibrancy of that. And allow yourself to feel just what an extraordinary bit of kit, what an extraordinary mechanism it is to have a physical body. We have waited and queued up for quite some time to arrive in this physical body, so let's make the most of it while we've got it, yeah? And then as you really arrive in your physical body, I want you to exercise your will, again, your intention, and just open up the soles of your feet, which are still firmly grounded on the floor. Open up the soles of your feet. And just greet the earth beneath your feet. Hi Pachamama. So happy to be here. So loving being on this planet. Isn't it awesome? Isn't this an amazing planet? And if anything in your body or in your energy bubble feels a little bit tense or a little bit uncomfortable, if you like, you can invite it just to depart through the soles of your feet. And you can offer that energy to Pachamama. And trust me, she'll drink it up, and she'll recycle it, and she'll regenerate new life, because that's what she's amazing at. And then when you're ready to take another breath in, and with the out breath, just bring yourself back into an awareness of the physical body, of your energetic body. Give yourself a wriggle and a shake. Open your eyes when you're ready. Make your wriggle and a shake as funky as you like. It's Tuesday. Why is it Tuesday? Yes. Good. Everybody back? Everybody all right? No one drifted off anywhere? It's good to ground, right? And it's good to arrive. We spend so much of our lives not quite being here that we very rarely arrive in a place. And you can't really meet a being like this when you're not here, can you? So I've brought several versions of Mugwort with me. Oh, can I have the leaf back? My rolling team. I'll give you a special round of applause at the end. Don't I? Did you keep them? Yeah. They got better as you went on. So first of all, just greet our Lady Mugwort here. I'm not going to pass it around, it's really quite heavy and a little bit muddy. This is the herb, this is what she looks like. Although actually, told you I'm staying on Friend's farm, these are some plants that she had growing. They're variegated, these leaves are variegated. And the ones I have at home are definitely not, I've never seen variegated before. I have a suspicion, there we are for all those people at the back trying to see, there you go. I have a suspicion this might be a response to high levels of sunlight, but I don't know and I haven't looked it up. So these leaves are looking both a bit green and a healthy kind of light yellow. The thing you will notice though about Mugwort is the underside of the leaf is a silvery grey, and that's a really good indication. So she's one of the Artemisias. They're a powerful medicinal bunch of plants anyway. You've got wormwood in the same group. This is Artemisia Vulgaris, to give her proper name, which I guess means common Artemisia. They're all pretty potent. I'm going to put it down because she's getting a little heavy. In Britain, she loves growing wild, particularly on verges and railway tracks. Because I live in the northwest, I do a fair amount of driving up the motorways, the M6, the M56, the M62. And I could be driving along in about May, June, sorry, that's coming into our summer. And I suddenly go, oh my God, the Mugwort's up. And of course you can't stop on the motorway. If I was in South Africa, I almost certainly would, because everyone seems to do whatever they like on the motorway. So if she was growing on your freeways, you could probably pull over, harvest yourself a bagful and drive off. But it's not the kind of thing you can get away with in Britain, I'm afraid. We're all a little bit more rule-bound. But I did find some in my local park, which I harvested and dried. And then a friend gave me a little teensy-weensy plant, which I put in my garden. Now, in Britain, she grows to about that kind of a height, in the height of summer. So this, as you can see, is quite a small one. And it's, like I say, it's characteristic dark grey on the top and then silver grey underneath. So when the wind blows, you'll see it all kind of turns grey. In slightly later summer, it'll come into flower. You get these little panicles of kind of pinkish flowers, but they're really only very tiny. It's not an obvious flower. If you haven't stopped and looked at it and examined it, you won't know it's flowering really. And then after that it begins to die back a bit at the bottom, and then it's perennial, so it'll kind of die back completely over our winter, which is long, cold and wet and all the rest of it, and then spring up again in the summer or in the spring. Really easy plant to harvest. You need a nice big clump of it, and it spreads underground as well, so you don't have to save the seeds and harvest them. You can plant from seed, but equally it's got what do you call it, those underground roots that'll spread like couch grass. So if you start with a little patch, you'll end up with a nice big clump. Once you've got a clump, I reckon respectfully you can probably take about a third at a time. And if you want to harvest it and dry it, I cut mine fairly close to the bottom, maybe about that far off the ground, tie them together in a bunch, string them up, tie them up upside down in somewhere that's not in the sun, and obviously for me not in the rain, but in some good airflow. So you'll find it'll dry very easily. If I can dry it, you certainly can. What I then do is I take the leaves off the plant, off the stems. And this is one I made earlier. I will pass this around, you can have a little look, you can have a little sniff. Sadly, it's all I've got with me. So I can't. If you want to take a little bit and eat it, you can do, don't if you're pregnant. But I'll pass it around, you can have a little look, you can have a little sniff, it's got a very characteristic smell. See if I can get all the way around the room. Ilana tells me it is possible to buy the dried herb in Dischem, and you can buy it online. I did Google and I found some online suppliers. What you will probably find with the online supply though is they take the stem with the leaves on and they shred the lot, so it's quite stemmy, which means it doesn't taste as nice, it's got a more bitter flavour. Also, if you try and roll it up in a nice little mugworty, spliffy cigarette like we did, the bits of stem will burst through the paper, it's a real nuisance. So if you can harvest your own, so much the better. So when I've got it nice and dry, I take the leaves off the stem. I usually burn the stems in a sacred fire, and then once you've got the dried leaves, you can use them in tea. You can roll them to make cigarettes, as you've seen. If you are a user of tobacco and you would like to change your relationship with tobacco, then Mugwort can help you do it. So what you can do, and I do this quite a lot when I'm working ceremonially, is make a cigarette with both tobacco and mugwort, because they work really, really well together. They're good mates. So yeah, so you can do a mixture of both, and then if you then decide that you want to be engaging less with tobacco, then you can reduce the amount of tobacco and increase the amount of mugwort. You can also use the leaves fresh, which is what I do in my garden in the summer. When I feel like a nice hot drink, I'll go and get a couple of leaves of mugwort, a bit of nettle. Do you have nettle in this country? No, that is such a shame. Nettles? You don't have nettles?
Yes, we do. Actually, I got stung on the nose the other day because someone put it in front of me and I thought they were asking me to smell it. And I got stung in the nose.
Okay, then you don't have a lot of, if you go to sniff nettle, you don't have a lot of it in this country.
It doesn't grow, it's not as strong, but yes.
Okay.
This gentleman over here is actually growing something in his garden.
Well done you. Yes. My garden is full of it. I have to struggle to reduce the amount of nettle in my garden, but it makes a lovely tea. It's really iron rich. It's a beautiful herb. So I often have mugwort, nettle, bit of lemon balm to lift it, and it makes a really nice balancing, slightly energising, slightly tonic drink for when I'm working at the computer. So I'm not a medical herbalist. I'm not going to give you the full lowdown on the medical uses of mugwort, not my job. You can look it up, there's lots of information online. I do know that, so I call her protective and grounding. I know that medicinally she's used a lot for women's ailments. So one of her other names is Cronewort, so for all us old crones like me. So very good for women's ailments, not only kind of menopausal stuff, but also PMS and emotional overreactions that go alongside that. Ilana mentioned at the beginning that she's a beautiful dream herb, which she is. So there's a couple of cautions. I think she's actually very, very safe to use, but there's a couple of cautions. Because she can bring on menstruation, you shouldn't drink the tea if you are pregnant or wanting to get pregnant. And they do say that if you drink it too much, it can be overstimulating the nervous system. So if you really want to engage with taking it in physically, maybe set yourself a period of 8 days and work with mugwort for 8 days, and then give yourself a break and see how you feel, and just compare the two so that you know whether or not you are actually being overstimulated. If you find you're good with it, if you find you're safe and you can still sleep, then great. If you, though, are a very graphic dreamer, I wouldn't use it for too long, otherwise you will end up not really getting any sleep. To work with her in your dreams, I would encourage experimentation. For me, drinking a cup of the tea before bed doesn't work, whereas for me, smoking it does. Smoking is very good for bringing about, how do I describe the dreams? Interesting dreams. I don't personally have a lucid dreaming habit, but people who have a lucid dreaming habit find it can be very, very stimulating for them. So there's a few of the ways in which Mugwort, there's another one, okay. So we've done drinking it as a tea, whether from dried or from fresh. We've done smoking it. I haven't got any with me, I have also made smudge sticks, which are great for smudging you. If I'd brought any with me, I would have smudged you as it came in. I did make one with maple, which people tell me is your local smudge stick. So that's kind of where I would make a smudge stick with mugwort. I would use probably about the top yay much of a stem and get maybe 3 or 4 and bind them together nice and tightly. And then it makes a beautiful smudge stick and it burns amazingly well. If you know acupuncture, who gets acupuncture or knows what acupuncture is? Have you ever had moxa burnt on you? That's mugwort. It's mugwort, very, very finely milled. And you can buy, I haven't tried to do it here because I get them off eBay from China and they're dirt cheap, but people say you can't really use the postal system. You can get a long moxa stick, which is really, really efficient and effective. So have a look for those online or talk to your local acupuncturist and see if you can get some moxa. It's the same thing as mugwort. The other way you can use mugwort, if you've got lots of it, is just get a bundle and put it in your space to protect your space and to keep it energetically clean. Again, with a little health warning, we were holding weekend ceremony in the Lake District and we've got this beautiful, beautiful place with an attic space up here, and someone came along, not quite my first meeting with mugwort, but pretty close, with this huge bunch of mugwort and said, I've got this mugwort, it's great, it's really protective. Like, yeah, great. So we put it all around this room and then we sat in our ceremony and everyone was a bit like, not a lot going on here. What's happened to my visions? And in the morning we talked about it and we decided perhaps we'd overdone the mugwort and she'd got the place just a little too locked down. So we took some of it away and on Saturday night we were fine. So you live and learn. I could tell you my mugwort lineage, but I think we might run out of time if I do. Okay, the other thing I will tell you about me and how I come to be here, Alana did mention, my primary inspiration at the moment is the Inca tradition or the Andean tradition. There's lots of other stuff that I have studied and I have worked with, and I give great gratitude to all my teachers always. But at the moment I really love the Inca stuff because the energy work is practical. You're nodding, does that mean you know it? The energy work is simple and it's practical and it makes sense, and it's, I don't know, it just seems to fit with it fits with my energy system. And I love that it basically says all the world is living energy, including us, and as human beings we have the capacity to move living energy. So why don't we get a little bit good at it and help to achieve the aims and goals by getting a little bit good at moving living energy. It gets a whole lot more sophisticated than that, but in essence that's what it's about, and that's why I love it. So when I do little exercises with you, like that first grounding one, actually what you did was Samin Chakri. You didn't do Samin Chakri, but you did Samin Chakri. So I will bring a lot of the Andean energy work into what I do because I find it's really helpful, really useful and really practical. Pause for breath. Any questions so far? And by the way, if you don't understand what I say, please say so. I know some of the idioms I use maybe don't translate. So if there's anything that you think, what is she on about?
So how would you use mugwort for your dreaming if you want to develop your...
Find the way that works for you. Like I say, you can drink tea, you can smoke it, or you can use a vibrational essence. So the one I've got for you tonight is a vibrational essence, so you'll have an experience of that in a moment. Primarily, my answer to that question, did everyone hear the question by the way? No. So the question was, how would I use mugwort for my dreaming practice? And the really simple answer is, ask her. As far as I'm concerned, she is a plant spirit, just as ayahuasca is a plant spirit, just as San Pedro is a plant spirit, just as nettle is a plant spirit, for goodness sake. They all are. They all have a spirit. It's just that some are a little bit kind of beefier and juicier than others. Although Mugwort is not technically an entheogen, and she won't send you off into La La Land, and she won't knock you flat on your back, her power, to my mind, is a bit different. It's subtle, but her power is really one of connection. And certainly that's what I get from her primarily with working with her. I find she will help you connect with yourself, and I think really when we talk about dreaming, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about connecting with our intuition, we're talking about connecting with the higher self, we're talking about connecting with our soul body, if you like. But she's also a very good guide for other plant spirits. So whenever I go to ceremony, I will, in some way or another, call in the spirit of Mugwort. Now I might do it by having some with me, or I might do it by smoking some, or I might simply, as I go into ceremony, just call her in and go, Mugwort, need your help here. And she, okay, a simple example, actually the same ceremony that I mentioned in the Lake District, we worked with Cingado first, you know, the tobacco liquid that you take up your nose. And we were sitting in a little group for kind of sharing our aims and working with the Cingado. And I'm not normally a user of tobacco. I use a little bit ceremonial, but I'm not normally a user. And so we inhaled the Cingado, and I'm sitting there in the space, and I kind of have this beautiful vision of the tobacco spirit leading me away, this beautiful, gorgeous female creature dressed in green, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. And then Mugwort literally kind of taps me on the shoulder and goes, hello, do you remember what you're here for? And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm back. And even in saying that, I appreciate that for many people the tobacco spirit is seen as a more masculine spirit, and that's okay. That's just the way she appeared to me, and you know, we all have our own relationships. If I do anything at all, what I would really love to do is to help you all find and develop and really explore your own relationships with yourselves, with all the beautiful plant spirits and helper spirits that we have. So good question. I hope I've answered it for now, but you'll get the vibration lessons in a minute. Any other questions?
For somebody like me, I pretty much, when I go to sleep, I go into a non-conscious state. It's comatose until somebody wakes me in the morning.
Yes.
How would that possibly affect my ability to dream? Because I'm sure I do dream,
Yes.
but I'm in such a deep sense of sleep that I'm not aware of anything.
Okay. What I would maybe suggest, and I don't know if you've tried this, is going for a more waking dream, whether you do that by sitting and effectively doing a meditation, or if you're keen, for some people, I used to be one that could never ever meditate. I'd be like, yeah, I'm meditating, literally. It's changed a bit. If you're someone like that, the other thing you can do is go for a walking meditation. You know, the meditation doesn't just have to be one way, just as dream time is not only when we sleep.
Sure.
So I would suggest maybe exploring some of those possibilities and giving yourself maybe 15 minutes, even if you just sit and invite the spirit and invite it to come to you in whatever form she chooses. And I know that dreaming is very different for everyone, and it's not something that... I'm certainly not a dream teacher. I'm sure there are some dream teachers out there that you could talk with. But I would just see it maybe as I want to explore my relationship with this plant spirit, and I want to ask her if she can help me with whatever it is that you would like your dreaming to do, whether it's to show you your visions or to bring you your ancestral healing or whatever you would like to engage with in your dreams. Any more questions?
I've got a question for you. So it's part of the wormwood family. So obviously in wormwood, you know, like Artemisia Vulgaris, there is fusion.
Yes.
The toxic, it's bad for your liver and
Yes.
with wormwood. So would Mugwort also have the same chemical to your knowledge, and it's worried about toxicity, like if you want to...
I've not read of toxicity due to high dosage, except insofar as it can be overstimulating. So no, but I also haven't looked into its chemical composition. So if anyone really wants to work with it physically in that way, I would say see a medical herbalist. My speciality is more working with it energetically, which doesn't necessarily mean drinking it all the time or drinking high doses. But I've consumed a lot over the past 3 years because I drink it all summer. I really do. And I'm moderately normal. I'm normal for me, anyway. Is that okay? There was another hand at the back.
I was just going to say that there are trace amounts of sodium of Artemisia vulgaris, but it's really not. You would have to have so much before it became toxic. It's really not.
Thank you. Okay. Are we ready for the next bit? Right. Let's feet on the floor, then. So we've had our first introduction. You've met the plant in a couple of different ways. The leaves are still going around, I presume, so not everyone's seen those yet. So you've met the plant in a couple of different ways, and shortly we're going to share the vibrational essence, and you will go on a journey with her. So before we do that, as with any ceremony, as with any journey, it behoves us to clarify our intent. So we're not just going, well, you know, it was there so I took it, or it was there so I tried it. We are responsible human adults. So let's engage with our intent for a moment. So what I invite you to do, again with your feet firmly on the floor, back a nice, not straight, but at least elevated. Allow some space in your spinal column. And if you feel comfortable, then allow your eyes to gently close. Become aware of your breath. And allow your breath to be the doorway into your inner sense of self. So that you gently come to presence within yourself. And allow that gateway of the breath to expand through your body. Feeling the ripples, feeling the vibration, feeling the pulse, the movement of the breath. Pulse of the blood, the expansion, contraction of the rib cage, the slow, steady pulse of life in you right now. And extend your awareness down into the earth beneath you. And again, greet Pachamama. Hey Mom, it's me. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all your resources. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for this beautiful world that we live in. And then connecting with that vibration of the earth, bring that energy up through your body. Just invite it in through the soles of the feet and allow it to spiral through the knees, the legs, the thighs, into the groin, up through the belly, up through the rib cage, to the arms and hands, out of the top of the head, back to the heart of the cosmos. We have this extraordinary capacity as human beings to connect the heart of the earth and the heart of the cosmos. And in everything there is reciprocity, or I me. So now that you've connected the heart of the earth with the heart of the cosmos, allow yourself to receive the return wave. And allow that return wave to enter through the crown of the head, filling the body, filling the rib cage, down to the base of the spine, down to the base, soles of the feet. And within this continuum, within this beautiful energy flow, find the place which for you is your centre. Whether it's your heart or your belly or your groin or your head. And ask to be shown the question or the guidance that you're going to bring to Mugwort tonight. And allow that question or that seeking for guidance to arise in you and take root in you. And really feel where it is. It might not be in the place where you first thought, but allow it to be wherever it is. Notice it. Notice its size, its shape, its colour, its feel, its texture, its sound, its features. And just acknowledge it. And kind of go, okay, it's you. Alright. And then with some part of your rational mind, just make a note of the question you're going to ask or the guidance you're going to seek. Make sure you remember it. And then bring your awareness back into your breath. Become aware of your physical body, your feet on the floor, your bottom on the chair. Making sure you've brought back with you the question that you're asking or the guidance that you're seeking. Okay? Right. I've got 6 little bottles of vibrational essence. These are at full strength because I haven't got my gadget that I would use to potentize them. So the essence was made from that plant and 2 others, so I triangulated it in the space that I'm sharing on this farm near the Guayaquil. One sunny day, the 17th, 18th of January, when I received the calling to do this. Normally I'd make vibrational essence in sunlight, but I got the guidance, actually no, this needs the moonlight as well. So it had a full day and a full night. And there were some other funky things going on as well. I'm not going to give everything away, come on. I just do what I'm told. I do what Mugwort tells me. It doesn't pay to disobey. So the vibrational essence is made in water. So this is not a tincture. This does not contain plant matter, which is why it's safe for everyone, in my opinion. It's been preserved in brandy. So it's around about 60% brandy, 40% vibrational essence. So it has got alcohol in. I've got 6 bottles and another one. What I'm going to do is send a bottle down each row. I'll show you how I'm going to invite you to use it. It doesn't have a dropper top, unfortunately. These were the only bottles I could get hold of. So it doesn't have a thing that you can kind of squidge in your mouth. But what you can do is put a few drops on your wrist, like that. Now from there, you can ingest it if you like. Equally, and it does taste of brandy, if you don't wish to do that, there are other ways of working with a vibrational essence. I usually did the other wrist, so I haven't licked this one. Personally, my favourite is just to do that. Oh, I haven't used that wrist because I licked it, that's all. And let it absorb through the bloodstream. And I think that's a really lovely way to work with the vibrational essence. or you could simply put a drop on your hand and take it into your aura. You're still technically taking in a little bit of alcohol. So if you really don't want to engage with any alcohol, the other thing you can do is trust your energetic body to get it if you do that and or that. Okay? So to your choice. So you can put some drops on your wrist, lick them up. You can put some drops on your wrist and just, bless you, absorb it through your skin. Or you can put some drops on your hands and just pass it through your aura. Or you can just use a closed bottle if you really don't want to take any alcohol in your system. Is that okay? Everyone got the hang of that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass these round. I suggest you get started on that. As you do so, maintain some focus. We'll start with you. Maintain some focus on the question you're asking or the guidance that you're seeking, and we'll try to move reasonably smoothly and quietly from ingesting the essence into your journey. Okay? So we'll try and not be too disruptive. So if you're one of the first people to get it, when you've received the essence, just sit with it and be aware that you are now engaging with the energetic entity of Mugwort. So I guess the last people will be the ones at the back. So if you can tell me when you've all received, then we'll be ready to go. Not far off. So in what is a comfortable position for you, advise feet flat on the ground if possible, if you can do that. Bless you. Come into your space of being. This is your third time now, so you're finding it quite familiar. So arrive in yourself. Inhabit your being in full presence. Check in with yourself. Check in with the whole of your body. Check in with your energy system, your energy bubble. Know that you're completely safe to go on a short journey. Know that your body will be perfectly well taken care of while you're dreaming. So So allow your awareness to drop and drop and drop through your feet, through the floor, into the earth, into a beautiful chamber under the ground. And just find yourself standing in a chamber under the earth, one of the many caves for which this country is rightly famous. And as you find yourself standing in this cavern, you hear the sound of running water. And you look down, and by your feet is a crystal clear stream. And you greet it with great joy. And I invite you to kneel down by the crystal stream and just gently wash out your face, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, hands, heart, belly, and the base of your spine. Whether you ritually leave something of your habitual self behind, and you're ready to enter your dream time. As you stand up from the stream, you turn around, and there waiting for you is the spirit of the plant, the spirit of Mugwort. And allow yourself to take in what she looks like to you. Take in as much detail as you can. And in your own way, introduce yourself to her. So open your energy system and introduce yourself. This is who I am. This is what I've come for. This is what brings me here. And express your gratitude for her presence. And when you've done that, just pause and allow yourself to receive what the spirit of Mugwort has to share with you. How does she introduce herself to you? What does she tell you about herself? In what way might she invite you to connect with her? And allow that essence to be received into your energy body. And don't worry if it seems a little unfamiliar or a little confusing or anything else. Just, for now, receive it. Feel that vibration blend with your energy body. And as you do that, the spirit of the plant takes you by the hand and leads you to another chamber. And in this chamber, you will find one of your helping spirits, the one who can answer your question, or who can give you the answers you seek for the guidance that you're looking for. So Lady Mugwort takes you by the hand, leads you to the chamber. Maybe offers you some advice before you go in. Enter the chamber, and inside you see your helping spirit. Maybe it's really, really familiar. Maybe it's completely new to you. whichever it is, politely greet your helping spirit and explain, this is who I am, this is what I've come for, this is what I'm looking for, this is the wisdom I'm seeking. If it feels right to you, you can really unburden yourself. Knowing that this helping spirit is working in alliance with your high self, with the heart of the cosmos. Once you've asked your question, just allow yourself to receive. Whether you see pictures, whether you hear words, whether you find yourself taken on a journey, all are ways in which Spirit offers us wisdom and guidance. Receive the wisdom that's offered to you. Take it into your being. Ask further questions if you need to. Feel your being expand to receive what has been given. And allow the wisdom, the guidance, or the teachings imprint themselves in your energy, in your system. And as you feel that process coming to an end, find a way to thank your helping spirit from the bottom of your heart. Turn and leave the chamber. As you leave the chamber, you find the spirit of Mugwort waiting for you. And greet her once more. If you wish, you can share with her teaching that you received. Ask for her advice too, if you like. And as she takes you back to the chamber where you started, you see again the crystal clear stream. Some of your energy into the stream, and that always gives rise to a gift. So you bend, you place your hands in the cool waters, and you pick up the gift that's waiting for you. And just examine it. Allow its message to enter. Now you're going to turn and take your leave of Lady Mugwort. You might want to check in with her briefly about how you're going to call her again. Whether, for instance, you will call her mostly by drinking the tea or by smoking the leaves, or just by calling her by name. And then take your leave with great gratitude for her guidance, for her care. For her friendship. And then from that chamber, feel yourself rising once again through the layers of the earth, back into this building beneath our feet, back through your feet, back into your physical body. Feel yourself arriving back in your physical body, knowing that you still remember and have access to every aspect of your dream, the guidance that you received, questions that you asked, a connection with the Lady Mugwort. Coming fully back and present into your physical body. Before you open your eyes, have a wriggle and stretch. And open your eyes when you're ready. Just to pick up slightly on the point you make about protection. 2002, I guess, I first began to learn doing energy work. I started with massage and kinesiology and crystal healing and you name it. And at that time, when you're being taught to work on others, we were taught to put ourselves in a bubble and make sure you do protection and you draw your 5-pointed star and you stand in it and all that kind of stuff. And I've done all that stuff. And I think for people who are new to energy work, it's good. It helps you to maintain your energy boundaries and to get to know your energy boundaries. But what we hear in the Inca tradition, in the Andean tradition, is that actually it's all energy. It's all just energy. There's no such thing as positive, negative. There might be energy that's suitable for me right now, and then there might be energy that actually isn't in resonance with me right now, and all I do is I give it to the earth, or I huchimikwe, I actually physically take it into my energetic stomach. And it's a beautiful, for me, development from the I need to protect my energy system to actually my energy system is in communion with the whole of the planet. And the more I expand my bubble out into the whole of the planet, then actually my power to transmute energy through it just grows and grows and grows. And the more of us who do that and who are willing to do that, the more we're capable actually of cleaning up not only our own act, but other people's acts and places and cities. And I did some amazing work with Elizabeth Jenkins, very brief sideline. So Elizabeth Jenkins is one of my teachers in the Inca tradition, and she came over to the UK last year, and we hired a place in Wales, which is on the coast, beautiful place on the coast. And we worked with a group, and over 3 days we kind of honed all our Inca skills, and we brought in all our connections. So we got this really expanded bubble, and we made a group bubble, and then we stood around this coastline. It's amazing what you do in Wales. And we literally sucked in heavy energy from the whole of the UK and dumped it in the ocean. How good is that? And to be, after Brexit, we really need it. We're in a pickle. So there's lots that we can do once we get this understanding. Actually, it's just all energy. We are energetic beings. We have extraordinary power. We have amazing power when we give ourselves permission, and when we have just a few skills to enable us to work with it. And it's for me, that's a much more working proposition than the one of I've got to protect my energy system, I've got to make sure it's clean and clear and all the rest of it. And I appreciate that for some people that's quite difficult, particularly people that have had leaky energy systems in the past. And lots of people grow up with leaky energy systems because of the conditions where they're growing up, and just because no one really teaches anyone about energy systems. But as we become slightly more responsible and slightly more mature and slightly more skilled as adult human beings, I think our capacities to transmute and transform and regenerate energies are awesome. That's what I'm in for. Anyway. Any more feedback, questions, comments? Anybody get absolutely nothing? Anybody was anyone sitting there for 10 minutes going, what am I doing? I don't know what this is all about. Go on, am I allowed to put your hand up? Yeah, well done.
No, I wasn't sitting there getting nothing. I just got closed boxes and a key.
Okay, that's interesting. That's definitely something.
Yeah, from my guide, I was given a box, as in a sealed box with got a lock that needs to be opened.
Okay.
And the gift that I got in the river, again, was gold, and it was a key. So I've been sent away with both box and key.
Okay. And do you have a clear insight now of what you're going to do with that?
Clueless.
Did you establish a working relationship with Mugwort?
Yes.
Okay. So at the very least, when you're ready, you can sit in your meditation space with your image of the closed box and the key, and you go, okay, Mugwort, now what? So now, so I think it's one of our human things. We tend to want instant answers. Like, I want everything fixed now. But, we're in process. We're all of us in process. So take it stage by stage and keep asking the questions.
The very
Persist.
persistent nature, she wants the answer now.
I think that is why I got the box that's sealed.
We all do. I totally get where you're coming from, sister. Anyone else? Okay. So, I hope you've all got some sense of what Mugwort has to offer. I hope you all feel as though, even if it's just the beginnings of a relationship, you've got something that you can build on. And it's like any relationship, you don't expect to meet someone and instantly be best buddies, right? You expect to put a little bit of work into it. You expect maybe to phone them up, send them a text, or invite them out for coffee. All these things, by the way, I'm open to. So you put a little bit of work into your relationship with Mugwort, and trust me, she has the capacity to really enhance your relationships with yourself, with all the other spirits that you work with the beautiful nature beings all around you. You are so surrounded by amazing nature beings here. You are very, very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate to be here. So put a little bit of work into the relationship if it calls to you. I'm really sorry I can't offer you anything to take away except your own experience, but trust that your experience is central to how the relationship will develop for you. And I'd just like to say, can we all take a moment to say thank you to all the plant beings and all the tree beings and all the four-leggeds and the two-leggeds and the creeping crawlers and the crystalline mycelium beneath our feet, as above, so below. Thank you so much.